We're Smooth 98.1 FM. Good morning and welcome. It's time for the locker room brought to you by Visa. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning. Is it Friday yet?
It is
Thank God
Friday.
it's Friday. All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Hmm. What has been happening in the world of sports? Oh, we'll talk about Wimbledon, women's tennis, and the Wild Wild West. Everybody that was somebody out.
That was somebody. Uh,
We'll touch on that. We'll also talk about the men's matches. I think Djokovic and Alcaraz play today, so we'll touch on that a little bit. We'll talk about the Euros.
yeah.
Yes, we have the final. We're down to our final two. Then we'll also touch a little bit on Uruguay and the drama that is the Copa America. Um, so that's I think then we'll talk about the Olympics because end of this month Olympics start. So we'll talk about all those stories and more. But first up, let me even give you the hot gist. So yes, last night,
Yeah.
that's the ESPYs, the awards show. Um, Serena was hosting it. So she came out in her different outfits and all, but I think it's the way Serena is. She just does everything right. It's like she could have been literally anything and still been successful. It didn't have to be tennis.
Even if you sold Bolly.
She would have been a successful designer body person.
Uh,
All I can say is whatever she touches, it's just amazing. The way she hosted the show, she sang in the show, she did a little. Oh, Serena has a great singing voice. Let's not even let's
I didn't see that
let's
coming.
not pretend like we don't know.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but it was just cool to see her in
Mm,
another element. It's like some people came to this life and they're living it differently.
yeah.
Like Roger, Serena, Barack Obama. They came on first boss.
Okay.
Mm.
Not night boss.
They're just living their lives very differently, very smoothly. But it was nice to see Serena in another, just taking on another kind of duty and killing it completely. But that was good. Okay, all right. So first of all, let's tell everybody how they can be a part of the locker room this morning.
Now, to be part of the locker room this morning, be sure to send us a message to 0809 That will be where we read your WhatsApp messages. And then, of course, you can race down to youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. Subscribe to the channel, and of course, you can share the link and go back to this conversation later on. Well, that said,
All right.
let's get started.
Let's run through the headlines since we're already here.
Now, on the bill this morning, ITTF celebrates Toriola, Oshonaike, others in Club 7 at Olympic Games as Paulini edges out Vekic in a thriller to reach the final. And then Alcaraz, Djokovic close in on Wimbledon final blockbuster. There would be Watkins manifested England Euros winner against the Netherlands. And then, of course, there would also be Nunez, Uruguay players brawl in stand with fans after Copa loss. And then there will be Real Madrid to formally present Mbappe next week. And no bed of roses, Scalini, hails Argentina's grit after making Copa final. As the Tigress, coach Wakama is confident mood ahead of the Olympics.
All right, so those are the stories. We start from the very first one. People are going to 7 Olympics. How many have you gone to?
None.
Oh
Tega.
yeah.
If it were Olympics for broadcasting, then you let's say maybe yeah, you definitely it would be fair to ask me that. But let's move on to others now. Well, with a few days to the kickoff of the table tennis event at the Paris 2024 Games, the International Table Tennis Federation (ITTF) has re-enlivened the feat achieved by Nigerians duo of Shegun Toriola and Olufunke Oshonaike and three others for competing in 7 Olympics.
Yes, 7, not 1, not 2, 7.
7.
Yeah, on your second hand by now.
Yes.
So the Olympics happening end of this month. Tough one for like I said, Nigeria has a great team going, and these are just some of the elite ones. And table tennis has, I would say these are names you expect to hear when you talk about table tennis in the world. And so having 7-time representatives. I don't know who can beat that. But it's time for them to go to the Olympics and display and okay, and attempt to knock China off their perch because that's what it is. It's not. I don't know that you can knock them off, but just attempt to get them off that position. But yeah, it's a great one to be able to see Nigerians represented at the Olympics, but 7 times. So a huge number there. We expect to see some medals though. They did very well at the championships, especially Toriola. So let's see if he can go to the Olympics to provide great stuff. Meanwhile, before we leave the Olympics, let's talk about one of the partners of the Olympics. Yes, as all eyes will be on the Olympics. I just wanted you to remind you that Visa is the exclusive payment technology partner of the Olympics. And so far, they have not only sponsored the Olympic Games to carry out, and you have to remember what the Olympic Games are about, sportsmanship, competition, in fairness. It used to be that the Olympics was just for amateurs before, and now professionals are allowed to compete in it so that everybody can compete at the Olympics. And Visa is one of the exclusive partners of the Olympic Games. So they're also sponsoring athletes at the Olympics, and two of those athletes are our athletes.
Oh.
Yes, world record holder. Again, you have to understand, world record holder Tobi Amusan, and 4x100 meters and also 100 meters athlete Goodness Nwachukwu. So great athletes. We're always talking about how our athletes don't get a lot of sponsors doing anything, a lot of sponsors investing in their career, a lot of sponsors trying to get them to perform at top level. Well, Visa is sponsoring two of our athletes, and two of the very best. In fact, two of the athletes we expect to get medals from in Nigeria. So good one by Visa. They'll be sponsoring the Olympics, and the Olympics starts at the end of July. So get ready to watch Nigeria.
So all the athletes need to do now is focus on their preparation and deliver.
Yes, and deliver, because now you are at least you have people that are supporting you. Yeah. So now focus on and give me medal, please. Medal is my bragging rights. I want to come to this studio and just brag.
And rub it in my face properly and say, see, what's your gender doing?
What's your gender doing?
All right, let's go over now to Wimbledon, where it seems like Jasmine Paolini edged out a tearful Donna Vekic in a thrilling semi-final to become the first Italian to reach a Wimbledon women's semi-final.
Yes, tearful because she was losing a match that she could have won, and tearful because her body let her down. So without meaning to take anything from Paolini, Vekic was struggling with a forearm injury. She taped the arm coming into the match, and so she played a brilliant first set. So she was looking good in second set. Next thing I noticed, Auntie started stretching her forearm. I said, match just started, and because you have to understand the thing about Paolini. That's why I say people should fear short people. Fear short people, you will not hear. This girl, she is so dogged that even when she's struggling or playing poorly, she will not give up the point. She will chase down every shot. And she's fast like that. And for some reason, people when people are younger, you see their brilliant career growing. She's 28. Her form really picked up later than most people. This girl was chasing down every shot. She was not playing as brilliantly, but she was chasing down every shot. She was making it hard for Donna Vekic. Now you have to understand, Donna Vekic, prior to this match, had already played 3 other matches, 3 setters. Paolini had not spent as much time on the court like Donna. So plus that injury, plus the fatigue, Paolini was like, I'm going to make you pay for this thing. And she just kept chasing every shot down till she was able to get the second set. By the time we got into the third set, every part of Donna Vekic's body was paining her. But most importantly, it was the forearm injury that was the issue, because she was serving double faults on her serve. She couldn't make her big serves. Her big forehand, that is one of her weapons, was a bit questionable. Sometimes she hits it too long. Sometimes in trying to protect it, she hits it too short, and Paolini would just take it all over. So she broke down halfway through the match, and I think it was not necessarily because she was just looking at her body like, if I were
In
At
my
least,
form.
you know, I won't even be on court by now because she would have played Paulini off court. But Paulini did the job she was supposed to do. Her job is not there to baby a struggling opponent. Her job is to win her matches. So as Vekic was struggling, Paulini was rising.
Yeah.
Made it a little bit more thrilling, and she was able to get to the final. Also, in the second semi-final, Barbara Krejcikova, I didn't expect her to be here because I remember I said my favorite to win this tournament was Rybakina. Seeing as she was the only one left here, she's also 2020 champion. Rybakina got on court, won the first set, looked like she was doing good, was dominating the second set. That's how Krejcikova was like, maybe I should start playing a little bit of tennis. Won the second set, came in the third set, and won the third set. So all the favorites out. The final of the Wimbledon is what nobody would have predicted. It's Barbara Krejcikova taking on Yasmin Paolini. Two people that nobody would have predicted.
Well, in this case, you are not Drake, so I won't say where. I would just say where would your
no,
thoughts
Drake.
be?
No, Drake had money
Where would
to
your
waste.
yes?
Because there's no amount of patriotism that will make me make that kind of place, that kind of bet. But hey, what can I say?
Okay, let's make sure you get your thoughts across onto the WhatsApp platform 0809-444-0981.
Let's take the men's tennis now.
Oh, let's go. Let's throw in Alcaraz there. We find defending champion Carlos Alcaraz and seven-time winner Novak Djokovic can set up a Wimbledon final blockbuster this Friday.
Yes, so Novak Djokovic had, let me tell you the truth of the matter, they've almost handed this Wimbledon to Novak Djokovic on a platter. Came out and claimed, I'm still saying claimed, that he had a knee injury. That's the official report. Even if I can see him splitting on court, you cannot be splitting like that after an injury. But I cannot, after his surgery, sorry, but I cannot say what I don't know. I was not there whether he had it or he didn't have it. So the official report is he had the injury. However, it's just the opponents that he has in his side of the draw. First of all, his side of the draw was already weak. Then all the big names fell out before they got to him. To make matters worse, he has not played a match. Whilst the likes of Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, and Medvedev have been fighting each other to get to this semi-final, do you know what Novak Djokovic has been doing? He has been sleeping because his opponent walked over. I said he was too injured to play.
So he strolled his way down.
Yeah, he strolled into semi-final. So why other to be a little fatigued, having a little niggle here or there? Novak Djokovic will be just refreshed because he's had 48 hours of brilliant rest.
Beauty sleep.
And then in that phase, so today he faces Musetti. Lorenzo Musetti is known to be good on clay, and he's known to have pushed Novak Djokovic twice at the Roland Garros, but this is grass. And Novak Djokovic is a better player on grass. So it'll be interesting to see that one. Musetti will go out there and give his best. It's his first time in the semi-final. Nobody expects anything of him. So if he loses, he has already overachieved. But it's an easy fixture. The mouth-watering clash, though, will be Daniel Medvedev taking on Carlos Alcaraz today.
It's still the locker room on Smooth 98.1 FM. Take us to here. We still got England, the Three Lions, to see what they would have for supper on Sunday. And we've got the Uruguay, WWE eventually, but we'll find out all about that on the other side. Stay tuned.
Okay, when we'll come back with these messages. Take that though. Why is it always cold in this place?
The equipment needs to be cool.
The equipment is who?
Needs to be.
Who is the equipment? What's the equipment's name?
The mixer, the console.
It's just always cold here. I've never seen. I don't understand it. And my legs are so cold.
Okay.
I know the weather is already cold.
It
was drizzling this morning.
I
was like, must it rain again?
I just wish it were like a Saturday.
I hate rainy season. I tell people all the time.
So your favorite is like the dry season.
Oh, I love the dry season. Let's talk beat all of us. I love the dry season.
The dust, you don't mind the dust?
I don't mind the dust. I hate rainy season. Everywhere is just so damp and dark and blue. It's just
misery. Rainy season just comes with a certain kind of misery. You just see all over the place. Like everybody's worried.
Is to get a second passport, and during rainy season I'll just be in my second country.
Okay. I see that. Greece, Abby.
Greece, no.
Where the weather is hot this period, where people are
No, I'll
dying
go to
of.
LA where it doesn't rain that much, or I'll
Okay.
go to Dubai or Abu Dhabi.
Oh, it rains also in those. I've seen the visuals of those. That you didn't see
That
that
one
video.
time rain.
That one time rain. Okay, it will tell you when it's coming like that,
That
right?
one time rain. You all the years you've been going, the rain fell one time. Now you say it rains. I mean, let's come up with a message.
Okay. Uh,
Oh, I didn't know that we had.
It is still the locker room on Smooth 98.1 FM. Take us still here. Your messages, we need to get them across onto 0809 444 0981. You can also catch a live stream and, of course, share the link youtube.com/smooth 981 FM Lagos. So let's see messages on YouTube now.
Yeah, let's take some messages from YouTube. All right.
Well, Olufemi Ekberokun says, well, what is NFF doing about a new coach for our Super Eagles? What's the next
game plan? They haven't told us. As you see, as they are looking for that information, that's how I'm looking for the information.
Abiodun Obisheson says, plantation mentality or not, bottom line is that the current crop of football coaches we have in Nigeria can't deliver dividends for the Eagles. Give us a foreign coach. That's where they're heading to. And the conversation is getting interesting, what I see. Padre Pio has joined in there too. So we have a confab there. But let's go over to WhatsApp platform and see what Tayo has to say.
Tayo says Novak Djokovic is serving a living God. he has a praying grandmother.
Larry from the abroad, one message as we get back to the let's see. It said Ashbati said in the commentary that Dona Vekic must wonder if there were two Paulinis out on court yesterday, the way she was scoring for every ball. Credit to Donna for playing through the pain and for both for a beautiful match and the longest ever in women's Wimbledon history. Novak has been playing tennis with his kids while the others were tearing lumps out of each other. If life no balance was a person, that's
I'm telling you, it's true. If life no balance was a person, I was just chilling. I was like, okay, let me rest my body.
Yeah. And then let's pick up the messages now. The next story. England striker Ollie Watkins, super sub, said he manifested his last gasp winner against the Netherlands, which paired his team into Euro 2024 final on Wednesday.
Yes, it is an interesting one. So after he scored the goal and he was celebrating, he was not telling us at the press conference that he had told that when they were coming on, when Southgate was making the substitutions, that he had told Palmer that you're going to give me the ball and I'm going to score. And then that's what happened. Yeah, that's precisely what happened. But that game was ridiculous. I would say this though, the English did what they know how to do, which is just play the match that is in front of them. The Dutch, on the other hand, oh goodness. And you know, when Ronald Koeman was saying it when they were winning matches 3-1, they probably thought, this old man, you're talking too much, but he scored at least 3 goals. And against England in that second half, that match should have been over and done with. You know, whether it was Gakpo, whether it was, what's his name, the name again of this fullback, whoever it was, they had chance after chance to just kill off the game. They didn't. And then England went on the other side and scored in that 92nd minute. It was definitely game over. But I also say that referee needs to be investigated. Funny enough,
there was a question mark above him before the game. You know.
Yes, now he's been banned for 6 months for match fixing, and then he comes into a match and every decision was for England, every single decision. And I don't care what people are arguing about modern day football, day football, any kind of football. First of all, I need to say this: IFAB needs to start getting more defenders on the list of people in their team, because this football has been skewed so much so that strikers can get more goals, and it's ridiculous nonsense. That penalty given was not a penalty any day of the week and twice on Sunday. When English footballers start telling you that that's not a penalty, believe me, it's not a penalty. Yes, I think it was ridiculous. Why do I keep forgetting his name? Dumfries. I think it was ridiculous for Dumfries to leave his boot out. However, the ball was a 50-50 ball. Harry Kane's leg was high, Dumfries' leg was high. Harry Kane kicked the ball, goalkeeper saved it, and Harry Kane's follow-through is what made the contact
You
with
milked
Dumfries
it.
boot. It's that simple. I understand you missing it in live action. I don't get you going to look at the monitor and coming back with a ridiculous decision of penalty. I don't care if it's a subjective penalty, but in a semi-final, it's not a penalty. You do not do that. And the referee, it was that, and then there was the corner that should have been a corner for Netherlands, and you didn't give them a corner, and they score from set pieces. And then Van Dijk complains, and you show him a yellow card. And then was a foul that was not a foul, and you called it a foul, and Holland were through on goal. And there were just too many of those chances or 50-50 opportunities that the referee just kept calling one way. It was the most ridiculous thing. And I don't care what UEFA does, how they PR it, how they shut all the news down about it. That was poor officiating, and it seemed to favor one side. I won't say England did their job. Their own was when the referee blew, they played. But the referee of that match, they should carry him to international court and check him.
At this stage, if the Dutch were looking for an advocate or a lawyer to make their case in anywhere they're heading,
No, I
will go for you. You just have, or even if you need a second passport, I think.
Yeah, they should give me. They can give me.
During the break of Mike, we were talking if you need a second passport. Now I think
no, it still rains there. I want where it doesn't rain.
I think they're listening to you. They might be contacting you after this.
No, I like the way Virgil van Dijk said it. As soon as the match was over, and the referee just ran down the tunnel. I said, if it were you, would you run down the tunnel?
Okay, let's move away from this, and it's done and dusted now. We can
there's nothing. Even if they decide that it was poor officiating, there's nothing that can happen. They're not going to replay the match. They're not going to say the Dutch should go instead of England. What UEFA is even enjoying the most, because they got two great footballing nations at the final. So the stadium will be full. People will buy subscription. So they are getting their money complete. They are getting their money, they're getting the entertainment, they're getting the noise. Trust me, UEFA is happy with England and Spain making final.
Okay. Let's go over now to Liverpool star Darwin Núñez and other Uruguayan players were involved in a brawl with Colombian fans, which erupted after their 1-0 Copa America semi-final defeat on Wednesday.
Yeah, so remember I said Uruguay was the team that would kick people. They used to call them hake footballer. But Colombia had scored a lot of goals. And Colombia should have scored more than one goal. My God, there was one space of 15 minutes where I could have almost seen Colombia go like 2 or 3 goals up. And these people were not putting the ball in the back of the net. Fortunately for them, they were able to get the goal that they needed, and they got through to the final. At the end of the match, that's how, you know how Copa America is now. Copa America is a completely different competition. It's not just football. It's MMA, it's wrestling, it's all of that put together. And you may have seen the video. Darwin Núñez was the prominent one, but there were other players that got into the crowd, and they were throwing blows in the crowd. Now, here is where I have a problem. I understand that their family members were in the crowd and they were being attacked by Colombians. That's a security issue. First of all, the LOC is at fault here, and we need to hear their apology, and we need to see some heads roll with that, because they didn't provide enough security. There was no even demarcation between Colombia and Uruguayan fans. How do you do that? So first of all, that was the LOC's problem. However, the players get into the crowd, and I didn't see any player going to save their son or going to save their wife. I saw them going to fight Colombian fans. So my point is, if you're protecting your family, is it not that you'll be entering the crowd to carry out your family members? But you're entering the crowd and you are exchanging blows with Colombian fans. That's beyond protection now. So as much as they have a good reason for jumping into the crowd, their actions are unbecoming. So I think a fine should be handed down, regardless of what their excuse is. I think a fine and even a suspension, at least for the players.
I think beyond just football, it seems they do MMA. Some of them, they have.
Isn't it ridiculous? You say you are going to protect your family. I understand completely. How about you enter the crowd and carry? Because I saw Darwin Núñez's son. He's a small child, though.
Yeah.
So the first thing you should do, if I enter a crowd and I see my nephew is under threat, the first thing I'll do is to carry my nephew and run away.
Yes.
That's the first thing I'll do. I won't enter the crowd and be exchanging blow with it, because Now you are going to instigate a full crowd to attack the family even more.
You came to protect.
Yeah, do you understand? So I think there should be fines and suspensions everywhere. But I also think CONMEBOL, the LOC, especially the LOC, because you're hosting the World Cup and you can't host Copa America of how many countries. You now want to host the World Cup with that kind of security. The LOC needs to come out and make a statement that puts them in a better light. But yeah, fines and suspension for Uruguay players, especially.
All right, we look forward to the final match, but let's go over to Real Madrid, where Kylian Mbappe will be officially unveiled, presented as a Real Madrid player at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium next Tuesday. The Spanish giants announced.
Yeah, so since his Euros are over, they might as well start new season for him. So they will. I don't think they'll he'll come to the crowd. You know how it is. You buy your shirt. You make people will buy tickets, come to the stadium to welcome you and all of that. So he will be unveiled officially as a Real Madrid player. It would have been nicer though if he were unveiled with a trophy. But now, no Champions League, no Euros. They are just coming empty-handed. They are swinging hands to come from grace to grass.
Oh my God.
But it'd be a good unveiling because regardless of what you think about his current form, he's actually a fantastic footballer.
Okay. And let's reach out to Argentina now, where Argentina's path to the Copa America final has been no bed of roses, Coach Lionel Scalini said as he allowed his players for their performance in Tuesday's two goals to nil semi-final win over
Yes,
Canada.
so they're going to play a tough semi-final, a tough final, sorry, against Colombia. Because, like I said, Colombia are very expressive. They run at you, they create chances. They are a good side, and Argentina doesn't create as if you watch the Copa America, they haven't created as many chances as the Colombians. They haven't played as brilliant a football as Colombia has done. The difference between Argentina and Colombia is that Argentina seems a bit more solid and structured, more like a structured unit. They're not entertaining per se, but you can most in general bank on them. However, for this final, I think it's open to anybody. I think Colombia have the opportunity to outscore Argentina and take the trophy. But if Argentina are solid as they can be, then it might just be them defending their title.
Even with the motivation they will get from one of their proud daughters coming to, with her hips coming to urge them on to do the
If
good.
they like, they should bring all of them and put them on the pitch. It doesn't change anything. Did you see all the heroes past of France in the crowd?
Yeah, I saw that.
Didn't they lose the match?
Yeah. Anyway, let's go with final story now, where the head coach of African champions, the D Tigers, Reina Wakama, has expressed confidence in the team as they continue training in their new camp in Germany ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games.
Yes. So the Tigers they're playing Canada, Australia. I mean, it's a tough group for the Tigresses to come out from. But I think they can give a good fight. And I like the way Wakama is saying this as she's seen the training camp, she's seen the players that has come, and she's seen the urgency. And so it'll be interesting to see how they perform at this year's Olympics. I don't know what name we should call them because the US are already calling their team the Supreme Team. Or this is it the Supreme Team or the Super Team? I can't remember. I don't know what we should call the Tigers, but yeah, the Olympics coming live into action. First of all, they're going to have a friendly game against Germany, July 19th. So let's see how we'll use that game to really judge. But the coach is in high spirits and she's excited about what her players can do at the Olympics.
And it's a wrap there. Let's get messages from YouTube and then on WhatsApp as we wrap up the locker room this morning. Well, I've got Lucas Torgan who says, Tega, what about the crowd booing Novak? You didn't mention that.
The crowd was not booing Novak. The crowd was saying, Rune, Rune. He heard it as
Rune
boo.
sounded as boo.
Boo.
Okay.
And then he now got upset. Like, who cares? Nobody likes you before. What about you just... Yes, now he used to say that people booing him makes him play better. So they're giving you your energizer, you're complaining. My friend can sit down.
Padre Pio says, two of the biggest leagues in the world playing in the finals. It's beautiful to see. My annoyance is how come the Pretender took the Three Lions to the finals despite playing boring football.
I don't think it was just boring football. I think it was disastrous football, but somehow he's made it to, think about it, he's made it to back finals of the Euros. If you are the English FA, you're not sacking him.
And yet you say it's boring.
It's not, I didn't say
He
it's
bored.
boring.
No, I'm
said
saying
dead.
they say, and yet he bored his way to
It's
bored his
dead
way back to
football.
back.
But it's tournament football.
Okay.
And with tournament football, a lot of things can just go for you.
Okay.
If he plays that kind of football in the Premier League or in any league, he'd be finishing 8th, 9th, you know, because of the quality of his players. But because it's tournament football.
Obishas Abiodun says, although Spain are overwhelming favorites to win the Euros, I'll say that England can upset the apple cart if the Spanish team are complacent, rooting for Messi and co for the Copa. That's what we see here. And Lawal Olamilekan says, I really wish the cup comes home. It's coming home, right? All right. Let's see a few messages from WhatsApp as we wrap it up now. Let's see. AY from Oniru says, the brawl after the Uruguay-Colombia game was another show of its own. Over 30 minutes of chaos and brutality. I hope there will be more security presence in the final because those Colombian fans are crazy and need to be caged.
Maybe they should just ban them, all right? As they're handing out punishments. And this one is from
Shagun from Mina.
He says, if Alcaraz gets past Medvedev today, I fancy him to beat Djokovic again in the final on Sunday. I think he will just have too much than Djokovic can handle if he gets past Medvedev today.
And Emeka Onelum says, I think we can now see why Barca kicked out Ronald Koeman out of the club. As for the officiating, I can bet there would have been riots on the streets of Germany if the decision was against them. Maybe CAF should borrow UEFA some refs.
But UEFA should stop hiring people that have been banned for 6 months. This one is from Mohammed says, Tega, as for today, your head gets oil. Haba, you're totally correct. It was like, you know, that UEFA had the match pre-planned, but we can't say it. Yeah. All right, today, myself and Mohammed we are together. No more 5-5 penalty.
Council, okay, that's a wrap.
On that note, I want to say thank you for sending your messages to WhatsApp. Thank you for sending your messages to YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to Smooth 98.1 to listen to us on the Locker Room, brought to you by the official partners of the
Visa.
Visa. All right. You didn't even tell me that the time had gone. Oh. I was looking at the time. That's why I had to stop it. Thank you all. Say bye-bye, Jerry.
Bye. See you.
I've pressed spoil. I don't know what I've pressed. I've pressed spoil.
Just that axe that looks like X. Just